Let me break something to you that your school, your boss, and your parents never had the guts to say out loud. You were not born to trade hours for dollars. If you're waking up every morning just to chase a paycheck, congratulations. You're a hamster on a wheel. You're moving fast, burning energy, sweating hard, and going absolutely nowhere. Money isn't evil, but being a slave to money, that's the real tragedy. You see, the rich don't work for money. They make money work for them. They send it out like an army, into investments, into businesses, into systems, and it comes back with reinforcements. While you're clocking in and clocking out, they're building assets that don't sleep, don't eat, and don't complain. Your 9 to 5 might cover your rent. But ownership is what builds your freedom. Learn how money flows. Understand compound interest, digital leverage, high income skills, automation, and scalable systems. The person who knows how to build a machine that prints money while they sleep, that's the person who wins in this world. Waking up at 6 a.m. to report to someone else is not hustle. It's survival. Want freedom. Then stop begging for raises and start building streams. Streams of income that run while you're on vacation, while you're training, while you're sleeping, while you're living. Money must work for you like a loyal soldier. It must be assigned missions. Go make me more. Because if you don't learn to control money, it will control you. Look around. The system was not designed to make you rich. It was designed to keep you obedient, busy, and dependent. You weren't trained to build wealth. You were trained to earn just enough not to rebel. But you're not average. So wake up. Read the right books. Learn the real game. Get mentors. Invest in your mind. Then use that knowledge to multiply your income, not your labor. Stop being a worker. Start being a commander. Because the day you stop chasing money and make it chase you, that's the day you truly win. Most people go through life under the illusion that money is the most valuable asset. They chase it relentlessly. Wake up early, work late, sacrifice their health, relationships, and peace of mind just to earn more of it. But what they fail to understand, and what the truly successful have figured out, is that money can be replaced. Time cannot. You can lose all your money and earn it back. But once a second is gone, it's never coming back. Every tick of the clock is a piece of your life you'll never get again. That makes time infinitely more valuable than any amount of currency you could ever hold in your hands. You can always make more money. There are a million ways: new businesses, investments, skills. But you'll never get back your 20s. You'll never get back that extra hour you missed with your child because you stayed late at a job that will replace you the second you become a liability. You'll never get back the energy you wasted sitting in traffic for a paycheck that only pays your bills and never buys you peace. That's the trap society has built, making you believe that money is freedom. It's not. Control over your time is freedom. And if you're working for money, you're not free. You're rented. The wealthy don't trade time for money. They trade money for time. They hire teams, build systems, invest in automation, and make their money work for them so they can buy back their time. They spend their days building, thinking, living, not chasing, not surviving. They understand that every minute they spend on something meaningless is a minute lost forever. That's why they invest so heavily in what matters most: leverage. You can always tell how poor someone's mindset is by how they speak about time. The broke man says, "I'll work overtime." The rich man says, "I'll build something that earns while I sleep." That's the mindset shift. It's not about grinding endlessly. It's about building value. You need to stop thinking like a worker and start thinking like a creator, a builder, a strategist. Because the minute you realize that your time is the most precious asset in your life, you'll stop trading it so cheaply. You'll stop wasting it on people who don't deserve it. You'll stop wasting it on jobs that insult your potential. You'll stop wasting it on scrolling, procrastinating, or living on autopilot. You'll start managing it like you manage your bank account, with intention, discipline, and focus. Here's the brutal truth: every dollar you earn at the cost of your time is limited. There are only 24 hours in a day, and you have to sleep, eat, and live. You can only earn so much with your hands. But money, that can multiply, that can work in the background. That can flow through systems, marketing funnels, rental properties, dividend portfolios, online products. The list is endless. So why are you spending all your time chasing what can be made passively? Because that's what you were taught, indoctrinated from day one. Go to school, get a degree, work 40 hours a week for 40 years, retire at 65 with a pension that barely pays your expenses. That's not freedom. That's a lifetime prison sentence in disguise. You need to unlearn the lie that hard work alone builds success. Smart work builds empires. Efficiency builds freedom. Leverage builds time. The goal isn't just to have more money. It's to own your life. That means waking up when you choose, doing what matters, being where you want to be, and spending time with who you love, without checking your bank balance every 5 minutes. So the next time you think about chasing another dollar, ask yourself, is this making me richer in money or poorer in time? Because every yes to money is a no to something else. Choose wisely. Time is the real wealth, and once it's gone, no amount of money will ever buy it back. A job will pay your bills, maybe let you buy a decent car, pay rent, and get by. That's it. Nothing more. It's designed to keep you just comfortable enough not to rebel, but never free enough to walk away. Most people don't work for fulfillment. They work for survival. They sit in traffic every morning like robots, waste 8 to 10 hours under fluorescent lights, then come home drained, only to repeat the cycle again the next day. And they call that security. But it's not security, it's slavery with benefits. When you rely on one source of income, your job, you are completely controlled. Controlled by your employer, your schedule, your fear of being fired. If your boss tells you to stay late, you stay. If they cut your hours, you suffer. If they downsize, you're disposable. There's no ownership, no control, no leverage, and definitely no freedom. The paycheck becomes a leash, a golden leash, maybe, but a leash nonetheless. And the worst part, you trade your most valuable resource for it, your time. People say they want financial freedom, but they don't realize freedom isn't just about money. It's about control. A job gives you just enough money to stay dependent and just enough routine to stay numb. You get paid to forget your dreams. You get paid to silence your potential. You get paid to obey. Most people are so used to it, they don't even question anymore. They work all year waiting for a 2-week vacation they had to ask permission to take. They live for weekends, dread Mondays, and count down to retirement like prisoners waiting for parole. Freedom isn't waking up to an alarm clock. Freedom is waking up when you're done sleeping. It's choosing how you spend your day, not asking for permission to live your own life. It's building something that's yours, not punching a clock to build someone else's dream. A job will never make you rich. It will never give you leverage. It will never create generational wealth. It simply won't. It wasn't designed to. The system was built to make sure you stay in it. That's why financial literacy isn't taught in schools. Because if everyone learned how to build wealth, no one would agree to sell their life for a salary. Now let's be clear, having a job isn't the enemy. Staying in one forever, that's the problem. You can start with a job, use it as a stepping stone, learn skills, stack cash. But don't stay trapped there. Your goal should be to use the job, not let the job use you. Build something on the side, create a digital product, learn high-income skills, start a business, invest, do something that gives you ownership. Because when you own something, you control it. And when you control it, you control your life. There's a reason they call it working for a living. Because if you stop working, you stop living. That should terrify you. Real freedom is when your income doesn't depend on your presence. When your money flows, whether you're awake, asleep, traveling, or spending time with your family. That's real security. That's power. Don't confuse routine with stability. Don't confuse comfort with safety. And don't confuse a paycheck with wealth. True wealth is the ability to walk away, to say no, to never have to do something just because someone with more power told you to. That's what you should be chasing. Not the illusion of security, but the reality of freedom. You weren't born to be a cog in someone else's machine. You weren't put here to die with unused potential. You were born to build, lead, and own. If you're still relying on a job to save you, understand this. You're one decision, one meeting, one economic downturn away from starting all over again. The paycheck you depend on, it can vanish. But a skill set, a business, an asset, that's yours. No one can take it. That's the difference. A job gives you money, but freedom comes when you stop needing it. Money was never meant to control you. It was meant to serve you. It's a tool, a powerful one, but still just a tool. The problem is most people never learn how to use it properly. Instead of commanding money, they obey it. Instead of directing it, they chase it. And the result, they become slaves to it, trapped in jobs they hate, in debt they can't escape, in lifestyles they can't afford, all because they let money become their master. The truth is, money is neutral. It doesn't care who holds it. It doesn't reward morality or effort. It rewards strategy, intelligence, and control. If you don't tell money where to go, it will leave. If you don't learn how to use it, someone else will use you to make it. That's the harsh reality the world doesn't teach you. Because society is built on you staying obedient to money. Work more, spend more, stay in the loop, keep the machine running. And while you're doing all that, they get richer. Because they've learned how to make money work for them. Look around. People wake up every day stressed about bills, anxious about their bank balance, living paycheck to paycheck. Not because they're lazy, but because no one ever taught them how to take control of their finances. So money becomes the boss, dictating where they can live, what they can buy, who they can help, and how they feel about themselves. That's not how you win. That's how you lose your life in slow motion. To flip the game, you need to rewire your relationship with money. Stop worshiping it. Stop fearing it. Start using it. Every dollar should have a purpose. Every paycheck should be divided between growth, security, and leverage. You shouldn't be working for shoes and status symbols. You should be building assets, stacking investments, learning skills, and expanding your options. Because the more control you have over money, the less control it has over you. Start asking better questions. Don't ask, how can I afford this? Ask, how can I build something that pays for this? Don't ask, how can I save money? Ask, how can I multiply it? That's how masters of money think. They don't settle for scraps. They design systems. They build empires. They understand that money is a soldier, not a king, and they send it out to bring more value back. Most people are reactive with money. They spend first, regret later. They earn first, think later. They invest last, if at all. But winners are proactive. They make money decisions based on future freedom, not current emotion. They don't look rich, they get rich. They don't chase the appearance of success. They build the infrastructure for it. Making money your servant also means not tying your identity to it. You are not your net worth. You are not your income. You are your discipline, your mindset, your action. If you think money will fix your insecurities, it won't. If you think a bigger bank account will make you feel whole, it won't. Freedom is internal first. Money just amplifies it. If you're miserable when you're broke, you'll be miserable when you're rich, just in a bigger house. So stop letting money pull your strings. Stop letting it control your choices. Use it as a vehicle, not a destination. Let it amplify your mission, not replace your purpose. Make every financial move a step toward independence, not dependence. Own your time. Own your income streams. Own your lifestyle. When you master money, you walk differently. You talk differently. You sleep better. Because you know no one can control you with a number. You know you're not chasing survival. You're building domination. That's what separates the average from the exceptional. Masters of money don't just earn. They command. And that's exactly what you need to do. Make money your employee. Make it work overtime. Make it hustle harder than you ever did. Because once money starts working for you, the world opens up in ways you never imagined. That's when you stop surviving and start living. The biggest difference between the rich and everyone else is simple. The rich don't chase paychecks. They chase ownership. While most people are obsessed with earning more at their job, the wealthy are focused on acquiring things that continue to pay them, even when they're not working. Assets don't clock in. Assets don't take days off. Assets don't sleep. They work for you 24 hours a day. That's why the rich get richer. Because they've built a machine that prints money, while the average person keeps trading time for it. Let's be brutally honest, a paycheck is a trap. It gives you the illusion of progress, but it's actually a cage. You work all week, they give you money. You pay bills, and then you do it again forever. It's a loop designed to keep you comfortable, but never free. Because as long as you rely on that paycheck, you don't own your time. Your schedule isn't yours. Your income isn't yours. Your life isn't yours. It's leased. And you're leasing it to someone who does own assets. Your boss, your employer, your landlord. That's the game. And unless you wake up to it, you'll be playing on the wrong side forever. Assets are how the rich escape the trap. Assets are the exit strategy. It's not about working harder. It's about working smarter and using your income to buy things that multiply your money without your presence. Stocks, real estate, online businesses, digital products, royalties, intellectual property. These are not just buzzwords. These are doors. Every asset you own is a door that opens a future where you don't have to beg for time off, where your money doesn't die the moment you stop working. But here's the catch: most people don't want to wait. They get their paycheck and immediately blow it on liabilities, new clothes, fancy phones, a car they can't afford, a lifestyle that looks rich but feels empty. They buy things that lose value the second they swipe their card. Why? Because they want to impress people who don't care. Because they think looking rich is more important than becoming rich. And that's exactly why they stay broke. The rich delay gratification. They live modestly now to live abundantly forever. They invest when others spend. They build while others scroll. They buy time, not toys. That's the difference. You have to stop thinking like a consumer and start thinking like an owner. Start asking what you can buy. Start asking what you can build. Because ownership is the only path to freedom. You want freedom. You need leverage. And leverage comes from assets. Look around. Every wealthy person you admire has multiple streams of income. Not just one. They diversified. They created. They owned. You think it's luck? No. It's strategy. It's discipline. It's obsession. They understood early on that relying on one source of income is financial suicide. Because when that source disappears, and it will, you're finished. But if you've built assets, you can lose a job and still eat. You can take a month off and still earn. You can walk away from toxic situations because your money isn't tied to one master. It's not about how much you earn. It's about how much you keep and where you put it. A man making $4,000 a month who invests in assets is wealthier than a man making $10,000 a month who spends it all. Because the first is buying future freedom. The second is buying present distraction. Don't be that guy stuck in a luxury trap, looking rich, dying broke. Be the one who stacks assets in silence and lets results speak loud. You don't need millions to start. You need clarity and action. You can buy a dividend stock with $50. You can launch a digital product for free. You can learn a monetizable skill from YouTube. You can partner with someone who has what you lack. There are no excuses anymore. Only choices. Every dollar you touch is a soldier. Send it to war, not to waste. Let your money fight for you. And over time, it will bring reinforcements. That's how wealth is built. One smart move at a time. Assets over paychecks, always. Because assets don't ask for a raise. They give you one. Every single day. Everyone thinks money is the most valuable currency. It's not. Time is. Money lost can be earned again. Opportunities missed might come back. But time, once it's gone, it's dead. You don't get a refund on time. And yet, people waste it like it's unlimited. They spend hours scrolling on their phone, gossiping, procrastinating, binge watching nonsense. All while saying they don't have time to build their dream, to start a business, to learn a skill, to invest in themselves. The truth is, it's not about having time. It's about respecting time, and most people don't. Think about this. Every second that passes is a second closer to the end of your life. Every day that goes by, you're either building the life you want or letting it slip further away. Time is the great equalizer. Rich or poor, we all get 24 hours. What separates the winners from the losers is how they use it. The average person kills time. The successful use time like a weapon. They structure it, they guard it, they invest it. Because they understand that time is the only thing you can't get more of. You can't afford to spend your time like a broke man spends money. Carelessly, emotionally, and without a plan. You need to treat your time like it's worth thousands per hour, because one day it will be, if you use it right. Wake up earlier. Cut distractions. Audit your day. If an activity doesn't move you closer to your goals, eliminate it or minimize it. Stop giving your time to people who drain you. Stop giving your time to habits that weaken you. Protect your schedule like your life depends on it, because it does. And don't just fill your time, leverage it. There's a massive difference between being busy and being effective. You can work 12 hours a day and still be broke if you're not focused. You can be doing 10 different things and achieving nothing if none of them are strategic. Productivity without direction is wasted energy. You need to be ruthless with your focus. What are the 3 actions you can take today that will generate long-term results? Do those and ignore everything else until they're done. Here's where the mindset shift comes in. Stop thinking of time as something you spend. Start thinking of it as something you invest. Every hour is either an investment or a loss. Spend an hour learning a high-income skill. That's compound interest in the form of knowledge. Spend an hour watching junk that gives you nothing. That's time flushed down the drain. The rich don't waste time. They buy time. They outsource. They automate. They hire help. Not because they're lazy, but because they know their time is better spent on big moves, not small tasks. People brag about being busy. That's not impressive. What's impressive is having freedom, having options, being able to wake up and decide what your day looks like, because you've built a life where time serves you, not the other way around. That's real power. That's what you should be chasing. Not just money, not just status. Time freedom. Because what's the point of being rich if you're still a prisoner to your own schedule? What's the point of success if you don't have time to enjoy it? Every successful person you admire mastered their time. They didn't get lucky. They didn't find extra hours in the day. They prioritized. They sacrificed. They showed up when others slept. They grinded when others coasted. And over time, that consistency compounded into greatness. You can do the same. But only if you stop treating time like a casual, renewable resource and start treating it like gold. No one is going to save your time for you. No one is going to make you use it wisely. That responsibility is yours, so take control. Plan your day. Attack your goals. Use every second like it's borrowed, because it is. You're not running out of money. You're running out of time. Make it count. Let's destroy a lie that's been shoved down your throat since childhood that money is evil. That wanting more of it is greedy. That chasing wealth makes you a bad person. That lie is poison, and it's designed to keep you weak, broke, and dependent on a system that profits off your ignorance. Money isn't evil. It's a tool, a powerful tool, a neutral force. What matters is who holds it and how they use it. A good man with money can save lives. A weak man without it can't even save himself. So stop demonizing money. Start mastering it. The real evil is ignorance. Not knowing how money works. Not knowing how to protect it, grow it, and multiply it. That's what keeps people trapped. That's what destroys dreams. Not the presence of money. The lack of understanding around it. Most people work for money, but they don't know how to make it work for them. They spend their entire lives in survival mode. Paycheck to paycheck, because no one ever taught them the rules of the financial game. And guess what? That's by design. Because if everyone knew how to escape the system would collapse. They taught you algebra, but not how interest works. They taught you Shakespeare, but not how credit scores impact your future. They told you to get a job, but never how to build income streams. That's not accidental, that's programming. And until you snap out of it, you'll be a pawn in someone else's game. Because here's the truth: money flows to those who understand it, not to the hardest worker, not to the nicest guy, but to the smartest, most strategic person in the room. That means you need to start educating yourself. Learn how banks profit off your deposits. Learn how inflation steals your purchasing power every single year. Learn how to invest, how to read a balance sheet, how to analyze risk. Financial literacy isn't optional anymore. It's survival. In today's world, being ignorant about money is like walking through a battlefield blindfolded. You don't stand a chance. But the moment you take control of your financial education, everything changes. You stop reacting and start strategizing. You stop surviving and start building. And it doesn't take a degree. It doesn't require approval. You can learn everything you need from books, YouTube, podcasts, mentors, and real-world trial and error. What it does require is hunger, discipline, obsession. You have to want it more than comfort. You have to be willing to spend hours learning what others ignore. Because while they're watching Netflix, you're studying wealth. While they're spending money on distractions, you're investing in assets. And over time, the gap between you and them becomes impossible to ignore. Once you understand how money works, you stop being afraid of it. You stop being controlled by it. You realize it's just a tool, one that can buy you time, freedom, access, and power. It can't buy happiness, sure, but it can buy options. And in a world where most people feel stuck, options are everything. The ability to say no, the ability to walk away, the ability to choose your environment, your projects, your future. That's what money gives you, not luxury leverage. But here's the thing: understanding money isn't enough. You also have to control it. That means budgeting. That means tracking every dollar. That means mastering your emotions so you don't spend out of boredom, ego, or insecurity. Most people don't have a money problem. They have a self-control problem. They don't need more income. They need more discipline. You can't grow what you can't control. So get serious, build systems, automate savings, invest first, spend later. Become the kind of person money trusts to stick around. And when you've learned it and you've controlled it, then you can grow it. Through investments, through business, through leverage. That's when the game gets fun. That's when you realize there's no cap to how much you can earn. There's no limit except the one in your mind. You stop thinking in terms of salary and start thinking in terms of net worth. You stop chasing checks and start building empires. Because money in the hands of the educated and disciplined becomes a weapon, a tool to rewrite your story. So never let anyone shame you for chasing it. Never let small minds guilt you for thinking big. Money isn't evil, ignorance is. And if you stay ignorant, the world would eat you alive. But if you master this game, you win your freedom. You win control. You win the power to live life on your terms. And that's the real goal, isn't it?